We are live. We'll forego the little pre-show AP Studios, but I want
Are you
everybody to
kidding me? That
welcome.
got me pumped last time. That was
We'll play it at the end. So we got Stewblue in there tonight, so that's good because we're going to need something to keep our motivation up. He's going to keep us all happy.
I came here to get motivated. I don't know what you guys are going to
do. Briar, you can introduce yourself real quick. That's good.
You said you want me to introduce myself? Just wave.
That's good. That's good. No, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, hey guys, I'm Briar. Met Chuck a few months ago over his YouTube channel. I'm a full-time photographer. Shoot real estate, shoot weddings on the weekends, and a whole lot of marathons.
Well, that's cool.
100 by 400.
Yeah, I got it a few days ago, and I took it for its biggest spin today. Shot some graffiti, some overgrown places in Baton Rouge, and even got a few. I got a white heron and a blue heron in about 5 minutes. That will never happen again. So I got to shoot a couple of herons today. I was surprised. I drove up to the LSU lakes. There are these two big lakes just outside of campus, and they've got about this much water in them. But the waterfowl love them, and so you see a lot of herons and geese and ducks. So I shot a few herons today
because there wasn't a living thing out there today. I stood out there and froze until it started raining, and said, "Okay, that's that. I'm done."
See that? But that's the thing. It was like 85 degrees today. This is South Louisiana.
Oh, you in Louisiana, huh?
Yeah, it was 85 and humid, and that's why they were out. Yep.
Well,
it is ice cold here. It is ice cold.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 30 Monday, and nobody here knows what the hell to do. So nobody's going to drive. I'm serious. They're going to shut down school. It happens when it freezes.
That's
here.
Crazy to me. You could have 25 feet of snow here in Utah, and it's like you get your ass on the bus and you go to school.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's the same way up here in Connecticut. They do a pretty good job keeping the roads clear. But down there, I understand the schools, they just don't have furnaces in them because they rarely need them.
No, it's strange. I mean, I think it's mainly the roads. People are scared to death to drive because if it's a little wet and that's it, your life could be over. So we're not used to that. So everybody's overly cautious when it gets really cold and wet.
Sorry, I got cat hair all over me. My cat was just up letting me know he wanted attention. All right. Yeah. All right. So
Lee from Idaho. Hi, what's up?
So you have some oh, wait a minute. I get the chat going here. There we go.
It's popping.
Yeah, it is. Nikon's all over it.
Oh, hey, yeah, I saw Nikon in the Matt Irwin chat it's about an hour ago.
Yeah. Hey, Lee, see you there. Sorry, folks. We're over here carrying on our own conversation like there isn't anybody else.
That's right. We're stealing the show.
Good evening, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Here
okay,
too, Lee.
So I know you've got some photos you want to share that you took with the 100 to 400.
Yes,
sure. If you guys want, absolutely.
Photos, Stu, that you wanted to share.
I've got a couple. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, and we'll do that. And just so you people know, I actually take a picture. I'll even throw some in here. I'm just pulling up my Flickr page because what a mess I have up on my desktop. That's where all my external drives are, and I'm not digging through every one of them. See, if I use Lightroom, I wouldn't have this problem because it would catalog it all for me. But then again, I'd have to put some effort into that as well.
Lightroom totally wiped out all of my pictures. Now, I mean, they're not gone, but it's like they're like, where are they?
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, Stu. How come we don't have the titles up here tonight? Captions. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me drop this real quick. All right, folks, we've got the phone line again. We're going to try it again. I think I've got this figured out, hence me wearing headphones right now. So hang on. Don't call just yet. Let me get through my little diatribe on Z9, and I just want to keep that. I want to keep that band rocking because
we got a bone to pick.
I'd really, yeah, I'd really like Nikon to take notice, not necessarily of me, but that'd be okay too. But all of us villagers out here with pitchforks and torches, which soon we're all heading over to Long Island to picket the Nikon
Oh,
USA headquarters, stand outside and ask for somebody's head. So anyway, right
a
now,
witch.
here is what we know, which is we don't know anything. And the reason for that is Nikon's not communicating with anybody other than its favored guests, the NPS members, and that's through Nikon USA. Nikon USA made the conscious decision to make sure that every NPS member, if you even thought about being NPS, other than me, of course, then you get your camera before anybody else gets it. And we're going to shut that down, though. We're going to keep it fair. You have to have made your order by December 19th. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So somebody on December 18th is getting a camera before you are. Just understand that. Okay. And you actually pre ordered on the day of the announcement, the minute, the second of the announcement,
And paid for.
but you're not getting yours because Nikon USA, and I'm not going to mention the names, but Nikon USA is going to make sure that friends, family, and hey, good old boys get theirs first. All right. If you're an NPS member, I don't have a problem with you. If you're an NPS member that actually uses the service and actually earns money from your photography, that's fantastic. However, I have seen people over on the new Facebook Z9 page that don't even know how to turn the camera on. I think one guy, this is the first Nikon camera he's bought since I don't know, an N5.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, come on. But hey, you know what? He woke up out of his stupor. They sent him an email. He hadn't got an email from anybody in years. And all of a sudden, one pops up and it's from Nikon USA, NPS. Hey, we got a brand new camera out that nobody's going to be able to get their hands on, but you, sir, can have one immediately. I'm being sarcastic, maybe, but how far is it from the truth? So Nikon's not telling us anything. We got a Japanese camera store that's saying that, and another site, I don't know what it is. I don't care. You know, I don't know what it is, but it's making the rounds. No more Z9s until October of 2022. Now, we all know that's got to be completely wrong. There may be a bit of truth in there somewhere. If you ordered right before this live stream started, then you're probably waiting till October 22nd of 2022. However, where's Nikon? Because Nikon hasn't put out any information, we're left to believe anything that comes along. Or we're just supposed to be good little Nazis and sit tight and not ask any questions and just wait until we get one, whenever that may be. Nikon, climb out of your shell, get your marketing department. Here, easy, fire them, done. Hire a bunch of 20-somethings to come in and take over because you obviously have ruined one of the best opportunities you've had in years with a Z9. You are alienating your own people right now. Yes, we know there's a parts shortage, but at least come out. All we're saying is communicate. Come out and talk to us about why we are in this wait mode. We're not, I don't want to suppose this is, or that is the reason. I want the Nikon Corporation to tell me why the camera that they're building isn't going to arrive in my hands in the next week, month, year. You tell me, Nikon. I'll be happy with that. But your silence is incredible. Your ability to ignore is incredible. And you know what? If Nikon was the whipping post before and we thought the Z9 was going to bring us back, guess what? It ain't happening. You are traveling a very treacherous path here. You are going to alienate even more people, and you're going to have Nikon shooters that aren't leaving Nikon, but they're not going to help you out with any PR. So it's time you, Nikon and Nikon USA, get off your behinds and start speaking to the masses. I already see people saying they're the NPS members that have one Z9 and talking about their working deals for others. Is that just, are they just saying that? I don't know. But if they're your professional services that are out there boasting that way, maybe they aren't so professional. So you figure it out. You let us know. I'll tell you right now, you already have people that have jumped back up on the fence who are seriously thinking about going back to Nikon, or at least jumping over and trying Nikon again. And now some of those voices are, I don't know if I'm going to wait. And if the R1 is announced, just announced, you just lost a whole bunch of people that were ready to try the Z9. So there you go. Am I dumping Nikon? No, but I'm dumping all over the corporation right now. So if you guys feel the same, just you can call in, drop it in the chat. And I haven't been looking to see the comments. I'm almost afraid to, because I think last week with the NPS thing, I lost a couple of subscribers. Maybe they didn't want to hear it. They just wanted to be patted on the back. But anyway, you don't have to agree with me. And if you don't, let me know in the comments. So there you have it. That's my rant on Nikon USA, and where we're at with the Z9, the best opportunity Nikon's seen in years. And we're just going to let it all piddle away because we won't make an announcement. We won't talk. All right. I'll let you guys chime in on any of that if you want before we go on, and I'm going to look at some of the comments. So
This
take
was
it
about
away,
the
Stu.
Nikon Z9. I thought we were talking about Canon. Excuse me, guys. It is a bummer that there are folks out there like myself who, I'm not a professional photographer or cinematographer, but I did pay $6,000 to get my Z9, and I have no idea when it will be coming. I have no idea if I'm going to get one even in the first half of next year. I was at my local brick and mortar camera shop today because I bought this. Let's see here.
Ooh,
I got the 105 macro. I finally found one in this country for sale, and they were talking about how it could be 12 months, if you've pre-ordered. And I was like, I was stunned with that. So I understand that some people have to be prioritized, but the fact that every single NPS member was that well prioritized and the rest of us that are paying money are not, I feel left out. I feel kind of bummed with their decision there.
Yeah. Yeah, loyal fans that probably buy more equipment because pros only buy when they need. Idiots like me buy every time they want. Who's buying more Nikon equipment? I'll tell you right now, moi. And so many other mois out there. Nikon, that's your bread and butter. It's not your NPS, folks. Yes, take care of them, but shut the pre-orders down for them on the first day and then let them get in the queue with the rest of us.
Absolutely. Give them 1 or 2 days and then let's move on to the rest of us. Absolutely. So I have no idea when mine is coming. Have you two pre-ordered one?
Yes. In March.
Oh, I lost your audio.
It's early enough.
I lost your audio there, comrade. I'm not sure.
Oh, I was muted, guys. I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. No, I was just going to say what's really backwards about the NPS process is that you don't even have to play. If you're an NPS member, you don't even have to order from your retailer first. You can tell NPS you'd like one. Then you can tell your retailer whenever you want, and they have to prioritize you. That's how it works. And I didn't realize that until I purchased the Z9. Because I'd always done it the other way around, thinking that that's how it has to be done. But I found out that in fact you don't. You can just order it directly from Nikon. They're going to reserve you one if they have it, and then you tell your mom and pop what you want. You can go online, pay for it, call them, pay for it, but they've already got it reserved for you. It's already waiting for you. Now, I'm sure they'd be very upset if you ordered it through NPS, told them about it, and then decided not to pay for it. That would make them really angry. But I think as long as you're good for it and would pay for it, they put you first. And I don't think that's fair. That's a backwards process. You should have to pay for it with your retailer, then send an order number, a PO, whatever you need. Then you send that to NPS, and then they validate it, they confirm it with your store, and then they're like, okay, you've paid for it, we're going to send you one. I would be okay with that, but I think it's unfair to make it backwards and it still be okay. That's wrong.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And like you said, Chuck, we don't have any news. Why not just tell us exactly what's going on? I mean, I'm not saying, look, I mean, I've worked for large companies before. They don't always know what's going on, but so that could be a thing too. And it's no fault of their own, but just saying.
No, and you're absolutely right. And there's no strategic intelligence here of, well, if we let our competitors know we won't have it next week, what'll happen to us? Or, I mean, I'm not buying into all that either.
I'm not either.
You tell me a company like Nikon has no idea how many cameras that they can produce before they run into the chip shortage or whatever, or how many they project to be produced. I guarantee you there's somebody's jobs on the line every morning walking into the office with those figures. And if they ain't right, he's in trouble. So you know what? Just have them rush them right over, put them on the fax machine and get them out to us. Okay. One guy's already talking about, and you know what? I love hearing everybody's opinion. Everybody's already grumbling. It's only been a week. Yeah. You know why everybody's grumbling? Because they took it out of our hands and made us sit back like puppy dogs waiting for a treat instead of, hey, you ordered a camera and you'll get a camera. Mm-hmm. And you can say right now, well, you will get a camera, but when? Okay. I don't need an exact date. But you know what? If you're man enough to stand up as a corporation and say, look, we've run into some difficulties here, however they want to explain it, and at least give us something to hang on to other than, you hear that? Oh, wait a minute. I got it here somewhere. No, I thought I had crickets queued up.
I have a snake in my office and it just kills all the critters.
Go. So, just at least talk to the people. And I'm not really happy with Nikon USA's decision to shut everybody out until after December 19th. Yes, It doesn't mean exactly that doesn't really tell us the timeline that we're going to wait in. But again, 3,200 people are in front of us because they didn't have to order until the 18th of December. And come on, I don't care who you are. You can't say that's right. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's all I know. And again, B&H has given at least 10 different stories about why, you're not getting it when they first promised. And I understand, but you know what? It's not B&H's responsibility to come up with that information. They should be getting that from Nikon USA. That's who should be telling them. All right. If B&H is doing it on their own and placing these dates on the calendar, which I find hard to believe, they're just, hey, let's just make up a date, throw it out there, get more people to order. No, that's not how it works. So Nikon USA, the ball's in your court. You have the opportunity to really pick Nikon up again and get us back on track. Just tell us why or what and whatever. That's all we're asking for. So that when we hear these rumors of 22 October, which of course is true, somebody's going to not get that camera until then. But is that everybody? And if Nikon had put out information, we wouldn't even bother with these rumors, would we? So there you have it. I'm sorry.
I do hate being left in the wind. I do. I wish that they could say, if you ordered I ordered mine like November 1st or October 31st, something like that. And it's like, you could expect it first quarter of next year or whatever, it would be better. I don't mind waiting. I really don't, but I hate waiting with a complete unknown. Like that's really what that chaps my ass, is that I just wish that I had some kind of good solid estimate from from the mommy and daddy company from Nikon, and not
Well,
just be
Fuji's
hanging out.
already given a word to their customers that get ready. The backlog and slowdown is on. Sony's done it. Canon's done it. And what's that other company? Oh, Nikon. All right. I'm still a Nikon fan, but this really grates me. And I hate to see Nikon go through this when it's something that they could have made good rather than a bad situation. And for those that think, well, it's only a week, well, wait till 3 weeks hit and we don't know anything. And then will you decide then that, well, maybe they should say something? So why not be a reputable company, stand up now and do it? All right. It's hard to get off that. Sorry. All right.
It's like it's like COVID, just 2 weeks to take care of the curve, right? And here
Get
we
me
are.
a camera to quarantine with, and I'll be happy.
All right.
I
Yeah, we
was
know
thinking
there's a chip shortage. We know that's a Captain Obvious remark. We know there's a chip shortage. We got it. But why doesn't Nikon tell us? They know exactly how many chips they have in the little bin because they got a guy that runs down there every morning and hand counts them. Okay. He knows how many cameras they can build before they run out of chips and all the other parts. My point is, talk to us. At least make us feel better about the fact that this has been the best announcement in years. And now it's going down the tubes because of poor marketing. All right.
Well, I saw today that Sony even announced, at least Sony's being specific. They even announced which cameras they're going to stop producing or discontinue and which ones they're going to concentrate on. So if Nikon would do something like that, I think it would be great. Just a little bit of, be a little forthcoming and, little informational and let us know exactly what's going on. Things like that, people just want to know. It's not knowing, the waiting is the hardest part, right? Tom Petty, that's what it is, man. When you don't know, it just tell us, just be honest about it. Say, hey, we can't get it to you for 3 months,
So why am I on this bandwagon? Because in the military, no news is bad news. You let everybody's mind run wild. I know it in the military, but it's corporate structure. Okay. So since when do corporations say, well, we're just going to keep them in the dark? They'll hang on. They're loyal fans and they're not going to walk away. They're not going to get upset. No, that's not how it works, especially today. So yes, let's get the ball rolling, Nikon. Just talk to us. All right. Man, I told you we needed you in here tonight, Stu.
Because I'm pissed.
I like the comment somebody made too. Well, Ricky. I can't say his name. He told me to call him Dave. No lie, he did. I sent him an email and he sent back, just call me Dave. Okay, so Dave said yes, 3,500. He said, and I think because I was in there long enough to hear that. Did he say the rumor is? Did he say it's confirmed? I thought he said the rumor is 3,500 a month. Okay.
I'm not sure if that's a rumor. I think
Nikon can't even come out and say, hey, this is how many we're producing. Or is that a big trade secret? I don't know. But at least let us know. So if it's 3,500 a month, well, let's see. How's that spread around the globe?
30 something thousand in 10 months or something like that.
No.
40.
When's the next shipment? How many a month could we expect at 3,500 a month? Even
Picture Line was telling me that their next shipment is completely booked up for NPS anyway, and so I was like,
even the one after mid-January.
Well, he today just the rep that was traveling through just said that the next shipment will be completely for NPS members.
Okay. Yeah, they did mention that. My camera store mentioned that to me. They did say that the first 2 waves are NPS.
I encourage everybody now to go out and apply for NPS. It's free, by the way. Apply for NPS. Everybody.
I was denied.
Everybody should do it. Let's just all be NPS, and then we're on one waiting list.
Nikon was like, are you a professional photographer full time? And I was like, no.
Yes, I am.
I know.
Yes,
I should
if
just
I
tell
don't have to
them
explain it, yes, I am.
I make a couple $100 a month.
I think they'd find a way to escape the obligation, because what they probably say, if another 40,000 Americans joined NPS, then they would say, for the Z9 too, it would be, okay, only the ones who paid the premium membership get the first two waves.
You know what? That wouldn't bother
do
me
something
because
like
that
that.
eliminates probably 2/3 of them.
Yeah. Oh, if not more. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Guys, I was just thinking, just logically, why would they go all in on NPS like this when, they don't make most of their money from NPS? I think it's because it's the late adoption. I think if you've got a D5 or a D6 and you've been waiting, we've already jumped over. I had a Z6. I have a Z6 too. Everyone else has already bought stuff, but the photojournalists and the sports photographers, they've been hanging on to theirs because of the autofocus. They've been waiting for, and now that they've got autofocus, now they're going to jump into it. So maybe this is a way for Nikon to say, hey, thanks for jumping in. We got a lot of orders from NPS people. We're going to take care of you guys first. I'm not saying it's fair if, like me, you ordered on December the 13th, but I'm just trying to think about it logically, like what.
I can think of it logically in that they just needed to establish a early cutoff, letting people sit on the fence or, wake up one morning and realize that there's something going on in the camera world and they're a professional and didn't know it. That strikes me as strange, but, and I'm going to make my decision 3 weeks later. No, I don't agree with that at all. I think that, yes, NPS should have had some priority, but I think it should have been cut off the first day. What professional doesn't know whether he's going to buy into the next camera or whatever?
But Nikon should tell us that, though. They should tell us, hey, just like they told us the deadline was December the 19th, on December the 19th. That's not the day you tell people the deadline, the day of,
Okay.
It's just crazy, man.
I'm still, I'm not happy with December 19th. It doesn't matter whether I'm happy or not, other than you all have to listen to me.
No, it's soothing. It's soothing.
I think that Nikon is one of the most stubborn companies. I mean, there's a reason that I call it the samurai camera. Yes. I mean, it is one of the most locked into tradition companies that I know of, even more than Apple. And I think from, I guess, my perspective, I think that that's what the issue is that they are sticking to that tradition and they're sticking to their guns. They're going to double down on it. And I think this is what they've come up with. I'm not sure if it's about moving inventory because they don't need to worry there. And I don't think it's necessarily about making money right off the bat, even though it will be, of course, every company is. But I think that that stubborn samurai tradition there is going to stick to their guns. And then the rest of us will fall in line, I guess. And I mean, I'm going to have to. We're all going to have to, So
yeah, what can you do? Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. All right.
I love it when I'm right.
Other 8 subscribers should probably move on. Oh man! All right.
We need to lower your blood pressure, Chuck.
Yeah, I know, man.
Need to work on it,
I need more coffee. I'm already out, so I'll go get some here today.
You know what I'm drinking today? A lovely Liquid Death. This is water in a can here, and it is. There it is. Look at how cool that is.
Liquid Death.
Brown water.
Liquid Death, and it is H2O at its crispest. Listen to this. Oh,
sounds like a beer.
Yeah, it looks like it too.
Yeah, I saw Lee just dropped there. Lee's shooting Canon, and he actually wanted to jump into the Z9. He was an old Nikon shooter as well, but if the R1 is announced and it looks as good or whatever, better than the Z9, that he's just going to stick it out with the Canon. I don't blame him at all. You're already invested.
I think the R1 has a huge potential to be, at least on paper, better than the Z9.
I agree.
I think it's kind of like iPhone and Samsung. I mean, iPhone is in like October or whatever. That's when they announced their new phone, and then Samsung is 6 months later, and it's 6 months better, frankly. And then it goes back and forth.
when it comes down to technology and the camera, if all is equal, then I'm going for what feels best to me, and that's always going to be Nikon, unless the others do something different. So it's
I'm a Nikon fanboy, so
yeah, me too. Me too.
I have the Fronos photo money truck backing up to my house, and it's empty, but it's it's the thought that counts.
Oh, did you guys see? I saw Fro in his little news segment today. He wore the I Shoot Z shirt that Nikon gave him. He actually wore it.
I don't think they gave that to him. I still say he made it. It was one of his shirts that hadn't been branded I Shoot Raw yet. But
Oh,
now
could be
you
onto something.
may be right. I don't know. All right, folks, the phone line
I
is
unsubscribed
open.
to him.
You what? You unsubscribed or subscribed to him?
I unsubscribed to the Fronos photo. I did.
I just
That's okay. That's your.
I could. It was
prerogative.
like it seemed like every time I was on YouTube with him, it just seemed like it was like a hate show. Or I think he attracts fans by just coming up with, this sucks and you suck and everything sucks. And I just was like, I don't enjoy that. What's that?
I should try that one night.
You really should invite him over. It would be interesting. It'd be interesting for me. I would like to see it.
I don't think there's a chance of him ever accepting an opportunity to sit over here with us on my channel. I don't see it. I was surprised.
He came on Vahography, so
yeah,
I saw that up. Yeah, I saw you on there.
Surprised
Yeah.
that he took the time to do that. Yeah, I'm going to invite Angry Photographer.
I actually thought about doing
oh,
that. I
Ken.
thought about doing a channel that was just me swearing about all, like an Aussie man photographer, just how much I hate everything. I get so pissed
Black
like
Sabbath.
during the day. I get so pissed at work. And it's just like I want to come home and just vent.
Oh man. Oh.
I started my day with this woman came into the precinct, and she came in and said, "Hey, I need to talk to somebody," and that's a very normal thing to hear. And then she goes, I had a dream that I killed somebody," and it's like, how can we help you? And so I had to sit down with her, and I'm like, did you hurt anybody, or are you thinking about hurting someone? And she starts crying and stuff. That's how I started my day today. That was, and it was just like, oh, you feel so bad. So we ended up, I took her to the hospital and got her checked in, and that's about the best that I could do, really. It was just,
What a day.
so maybe that would be good. I could just come onto YouTube and just talk about how everything sucks.
You got to be a shrink too,
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get off this in a minute. We'll come back to it. Somebody's gonna say something and ignite this fire again. You can't put this out. But yeah, Stu, I know you said you had photos. I know that Briar, you said you have some to show us of the 100 to 400, and one of these days I'll have. By the way, for those that
Yeah, you got it today, right? You got your new lens today?
it is actually here. So
She's pretty.
this is with the 2.0 TC on it. So I can't wait to actually get it out there tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm sure it'll be raining again.
That's what Canon shooters do, right? They wait till it rains and then they just get that awesome shot.
There you go. There
Get
you
an
go.
umbrella. Stay dry, and then bam, you'll be a pro photographer in the rain.
All right. So anybody wants to call in, the number's right there. Give us a ring. You can talk to Stu or Briar. Or you probably heard enough from me. So
Never.
but jump on in here. Let's get some more people. Let's make this even more interactive. Yes.
Make it a party.
Started. Yeah.
I don't shoot in the rain. I'm a wise man. I get out of the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. You become a fair weather shooter when you're not getting paid for it.
Oh, that was deep, brother. That's
So, hey, Chuck, walk me through this the screen share then, and we can get started showing some pictures off. I have an icon here that says share screen, and there's a line through it. Do I click on that?
Yes, it's just telling you that it's not available or it's not on with
Okay.
the line through it. When you click on it, then you're going to share whatever you have on your computer.
Okay, let me just
You
clear
might
my
want to hide
desktop.
a few things.
Yeah.
Uh, for
Was
me,
I
it's different.
downtown in the rain? Oh, it was really windy. I guess it started to rain, but see, that was why that's why we ended the video, was because it started to rain. The wind was horrific, and I
Yeah.
don't know. Usually downtown, like in Salt Lake, it's usually not so bad, but that was a windy shoot, and it was awesome.
Hello, you are on the air. Who do we have? Well, I'm not hearing anybody. I
Oh
bet.
no!
Okay, you have to completely turn the sound down on your on the YouTube channel that you're watching on, and just listen through the phone. Otherwise, we'll never get this to work because of the feedback and the latency. So, hello.
City Creek charges you to take pictures, Lee. Like if you walk in with like a pro type of camera, something like that, City Creek security will come down on you. They want their money, so they'll kick you out too. Plus, the roof is always open, which means it rains in there too. Beautiful place though. I was taking pictures at the Grand America a few years ago, and security came out and they were like, "Did you pay to shoot here?" And I was like, "Well, how much is it to shoot?" And they told me it was $250 to shoot on their property. And I was like, "Oh my God." So we promptly left, and I have never gone back. Funny story about the homeless there. I used to run the homeless court there. Let's see, it's down in Greektown there in Salt Lake. And we used to have a studio there as well. So, I was daytime officer, then nighttime photographer. And the studio was down in the transit area there, and it was beautiful. It was one of my favorite places to go, but it was constantly just surrounded by homeless and transit people there. And we ended up, I mean, you'd get in fights, you watch people poop, you watch people do drugs, and it was the worst. And so we ended up we lost that studio, and now we're up by the university. And then the mayor cleaned everything out of there, so it kind of worked out. And then the Capitol building is gorgeous there here in Salt Lake. It's a beautiful spot.
Are you putting your photos up, or you?
Oh yeah, comrade. All right. Oh, here we go. So I can share screen too. Look at this. Oh, this is really nice. Okay, so let me I wanted to show this picture here. Oh, let me bring it over. Here we go. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
So this is a bison that I took a picture of, and I've had some subscribers comment about it, and I've always just kind of wanted to tell this story. This was in Yellowstone. It was early morning. The sun had just come up, so we were there really early, and this bison was really close to the road, and you're not supposed to get out and but I had this was with my D750 and my Sigma 600 millimeter lens. And so I got out of the car, and my wife was about to have a kitten, if you know what I mean. And I put my back up against the car. And in fact, if you zoom in, you won't be able to see it on the feed, but if you zoom into the eye of this bison, you can actually see our car. We had a white sedan at the time. And so I put my back against the car, and I just got lost. I just started taking pictures of this gorgeous animal, and I fell in love with it. And at the same time, my wife was behind me. She rolled down the window to the car, and she was like, "You have got to get back inside." I was like, "Honey, if you do not calm down, this thing's going to kill us." So
It's a beautiful shot, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And this is what I've been really proud of over the years. I've got a couple of prints of it, and he ended up kind of grazing on some grass, and he locked eyes with me just for a second or two, and then he ended up walking like right by me. I probably could have reached out and gave him a little pat, but I was too terrified. By that time, I remember bringing my camera down, and I realized how close he was, and that's when I got really scared as well. I mean, these things are the size of small little pickup trucks, and so
Yeah,
yeah,
those-
that one scared me there. That was a good one. That was a good day.
Awesome.
Got him right
Those
at the
horns,
photos.
those horns look real, man. So I'd be cautious too. Jeez.
It is a
Yeah.
beautiful photo, though.
So
Thank
you
you,
were
thank you.
you were inside of a fence?
No.
Oh, okay.
So this was up by Canyon, up by the. I'm not sure if you can hear my daughter; she's yelling at me there. But this was up by the Grand Canyon in Yellowstone, in the park.
Oh,
And
okay.
so there, and for those of you that may be viewers there, once you're in the park, I mean, you're out with the animals there. They are non-herded, and they're not fenced in at all or anything like that. So
But Stu, you have bison out on the island too, right?
yes, we do. They're not as cool looking as this, though. I don't know why they look different, but we
You
have
know how it is.
we have
These are-
Antelope Island out here in
Yeah.
Utah, and I love that. It's a state park.
Yep.
And it's one of my favorite places because the bison are free there. They're able to roam around, and so I've always enjoyed going out and seeing the bison there, because it's one of the few places in the country that you can still see them. So that is kind of fun.
It's cool.
But
I
yeah.
like it.
Thank you. I was happy to share this one with you, though, and so I'll pass the floor to someone else, and then we can come
Pass
back
it
to me a
over to
little later.
Mr. Breyer. Do you have yours up, ready to go?
I can. Yeah, I can. I can get that real quick for you. Let's see.
It was a big bastard. There were two of them, but one did not care what I was doing. This one here was curious.
All right, guys. So these are just shots of me just messing around, testing it out, see what it's got, close focus.
So was this with the 100 to?
Yeah, 100. All of these are going to be the 100 to 400. Yep.
Oh man, does that thing focus close? Is that amazing?
I'm about to show
400?
you. Yeah, I'm about to demonstrate that. I didn't think I could focus on it, but let me know if you can see my screen, guys.
Not quite yet.
Entire screen. Yeah, entire screen.
Just to answer real quick with Hassan, I actually don't do a lot of wildlife photography. I've gotten into it more, and I will probably get into it a lot more when Z9 gets to my house. But
Amen.
Up to then, I usually only go out about once a year and do wildlife and stuff like that. It's not my bag.
Okay, so let me know if you can see.
I'm ready when
screen,
you
yes.
want. I'll pull it up.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready if you're ready.
Oh, cool.
Can you see it? Yeah. So this is me like 1.5 feet from shoes. Let me see file info. Oh, of course, this app doesn't tell you anything except for the dimensions. Bummer.
Yeah.
No ISO. No. I was hoping it would do that. Sorry about that, guys. Okay.
No,
So
it's
yeah,
okay.
I'm just right above it. Good
Is that
good
100 or
contrast.
400? Obviously 100. Oh, here you go. Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Wow.
That's 30. That's just 35%. So you could just magnify that bad boy. I did notice, maybe you can see there's a little bit of purple fringing right there. I know it's easy to take that stuff out, but yep. And then
Hey,
I
buddy.
got my little guy. Oh, okay. So they can see you again, bud. Look. Say hello. I know you can't see them. Just
Hello.
wave. They're there.
Hey,
Trust
buddy.
me. Hey, that's Mr. Chris and Mr. Chuck.
Nice
Okay.
to meet you again.
He said, "Nice to meet you again." Okay. He said, "Okay." Manners. Great manners.
I like where your head's at, buddy.
So yeah, this is just me around the house, just shooting
that's
around, just to see what I can grab. See, I wanted the settings to help you guys out. What are you doing down there, buddy? Don't shake it. So this is my oldest's bag here. Yeah, there we go. So I focused on the eye there. So this is at a really high ISO. I think I was at like 10,000 ISO here, just testing the low light and everything, and just to see what happens.
You know what? I can see a little bit of grain on there, and I like it, actually. I think it adds. See, I like the higher ISO. That one.
Yeah,
I
it
like
gets
that.
it.
I'm getting into a little bit of grain lately. Like I find myself kind of adding it into some of my photography.
Well, with the Z lenses, I found like the way it used to be with the F mount edits, I would add sharpening, but now I subtract it. I'm taking it out, and because
We
they're
got a
so
question.
sharp.
Which camera? Is this the Z6 II?
Z6 II, yep.
Z6 II, and
Yeah.
then the 1 to 400.
The new 1 to 400S.
100 to 400, yeah. So this is my oldest here. So I actually focused on this eye because this eye was in shadow.
Okay.
So there you go. Sharp as a tack. This is from about 10 feet away. So I'm at the door, and this is still just 35%.
Excellent portrait.
Yeah, he's just hanging out. So this is a little bit of graffiti I came across today. Art does live forever. In Louisiana. Yeah, there's an abandoned part of town that I drove through to get to one of my real estate listings. And this was on the way back home. So yeah, stopped and shot this right through the window.
Wow, that's cool.
And then I got this one here. See, a lot of buildings in this area are just totally overgrown. This was a low ISO shot, I remember. Because I had it on auto ISO for these because I just didn't want to have to think about it shooting out of my window. But I thought it got good colors. And I mean, the focus is so fast on this thing. It's just like, just like the 7200. It's super, super quick. Here's our state capitol.
Nice.
In the distance.
Oh, that's good. I like
magnification.
That. Yeah.
I mean, we're at around 100% here. So
very good.
It's a sharp lens, man. So here's the white heron I was telling you guys about. Just hanging out.
Ooh, pretty.
That's 70%. So we're at about 100% here.
Excellent focus, and I like the fall off behind it. The bokeh stuff behind it. That did really well.
Yeah, this is definitely 400 mil at 5.6. So this is
5.6. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And here's the blue heron. Those are much more skittish. Yeah, they're gorgeous, but they're so much more skittish than the white herons.
Okay, we have blue herons out on Great Salt Lake that nest there, and I swear to God, you could like walk up and like give one a high five or something.
Oh, they're tame. Wow,
they are pretty domesticated. But they're
the geese are like that out here. The Canadian geese and the white geese, you can go up to them, and I guess because everybody feeds them. But these guys, they think they're going to be shot when they see you, so they take off. So here's another one of them. It was really easy to focus too. I think I used pinpoint on his eye.
Okay.
In single shot mode. And
Hey, pixel peep that real quick if you don't.
Yeah, sure. Not at all. Let's see what we got.
Percent. Let's just see how it holds up. I know the ZC struggling at that.
Look at that eye. That is
91.
That's cool.
That's 91%. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's 91%.
Mm-hmm. There's 100 on the nose.
All right.
God, that's pretty.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot some things tomorrow. I doubt I'll get. Well, I know I'm not gonna. The blue herrings are gone here.
Yeah,
they're down in Louisiana.
They've flown south to Louisiana. That's what I'm saying. Where it's 85 degrees.
Yeah, they're gone. I'll be lucky if it's just a bird of any kind. But yeah.
So here's. I took a vertical shot there. I think. What were you going to ask, Chris?
We're under like 4 feet of snow right now in Utah. So like
that is unimaginable. It snows once every 10 years here. I'm 46.
I remember in New Orleans
it snowed 4 times.
They had snow there, and you thought the end of the world was coming.
Oh, guys, look, those are turtles. I didn't even notice that. Check this out.
Look at that.
Sure are.
Look at them all
cool.
All camouflaged in algae.
Reticulated.
Right.
Excellent. Don't you love that when you have no idea that you
nice.
get home and you take a picture and you're like, oh, snap.
That's part of the fun. Let me go to 100 here, Chuck, so you can. It's about the same, yeah. I was just
looking at. Yeah, I just wanted to see what the out of focus area looked like behind it, and how it was holding up. So I have an idea tomorrow when I'm shooting, where I can go. How far away was he or she?
I would say about 30 feet.
Okay.
And I was, if not at 400, I was close to it.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Definitely.
Comrade, do you have a teleconverter adapter dealie?
Yeah, I have a 1.4. I haven't tried it
Okay.
yet. Yep.
Okay.
Gonna
That's
try it
cool.
out.
All right. I do not.
Yep. That's next. Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to invest in a teleconverter. I don't think I've got a.
I'm.
I don't think I've got like a purpose for it.
Yeah. I was thinking. I really like to shoot the moon. I like shooting it through big telescopes. Is what I used to do.
Yeah.
Back in the D7100 days, but eclipses, which are rare. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna end up keeping that teleconverter or not. But if it keeps as sharp as this thing is here, I'll stay with it, man. If it can hold this sharpness, there's just because there's just I like to shoot astronomical objects, and the moon and the sun are the only ones. Yeah, I'm a big big astronomy nerd, and so
that's cool.
Yep. So here's some pelicans.
Pelicans, yeah, those are beautiful.
White pels. They were just bobbing away, looking for fish. The water's only about 4 or 5 inches deep right there. It's not, they're probably walking on the surface, walk floating.
Walk floating. So. That's what I do when I go to the swimming pool.
In 5 feet, you just
Who's the fat ass in the tub? I'm walk floating, guys.
So this is so that's 103% there.
Yeah, Sean. Beautiful. You got the sunlight just real good too. That's nice.
Yeah, that was late day. That was.
And I love the bird that you were just zoomed in on. You can see. I'm sorry. Back to the pelicans. Here we go. Yeah.
This guy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this guy in the middle. He's so clear. And then look at the guy just right behind him. That's maybe 8 inches behind him, and he's falling out of focus. That's a great lens. That's nice.
Doesn't take much. Yeah. These three are pretty sharp in the front, so they must be in the same focal plane or close to it. At 5.6, you probably have a couple of inches to spare. I would think maybe 2 or something like that at that distance. There's another one at about 30 feet. So, yep. And I think that's that's it. That's all that I got. Short and sweet.
I like it. God, it makes me want to warm up.
I'll get out tomorrow. I hope
it was a good little test. Yeah.
I hope I get out tomorrow, and I hope there's something to shoot other than twigs, branches, and leaves. But I'll find something. I did send a few photos out to a few people that I took yesterday. Right after I got it, I just ran outside and shot with it because it was already getting dark. And tried to show the resolution of the lens, at least on the Z6 II, but it really doesn't give you a real good indicator. I mean, it looks good. And the other points that he's already made, Briar, you've already made, is it's super fast, and the AF is super fast.
That's good.
I did notice
just like the 7200.
Yeah, I did notice a little dip with the 2.0 on it. And the fact, so now it's at f11, and the fact that it was already getting dark. So I'm up around 6,000 ISO. And I just said, this isn't a fair test for it today. So I'll wait and see if I've got some light tomorrow. Then we'll start pushing it, making it work for its money. All right.
The sun doesn't even come up here in Utah right now. It sets at like noon.
The Arctic Circle up there. All right. So, let me jump. I got to change it for mine to get my photos in here. Let me switch real quick. Everybody hang loose, and let me see if I can go down here maybe and make
this. See the one on your desktop? That's a great shot.
Yeah, I'm trying. There we go. All right. So let me go through these. I'm just going to go through them real quick. These aren't like recent, but this is some of my backyard having fun.
Damn, we should have Bayou Josh. He can tell us what this bird is. He can probably tell us what it sounds like.
I need him here to critique them is what I need. I think this one's a little over sharpened, but I don't know if it's that or just the feathers on it.
It looks great, Chuck.
So which camera are you using here?
Yeah, it's a good question. It could be the D850 or the D810 or the D5.
Okay.
One of the three. So this is just a random selection, but I like the light.
I like that.
Or whatever.
That's a golden hour shot there. It looks like it.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful
Female
face.
cardinal.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I like
nice. Yeah.
color. I like contrast. So
I like the
I'm
red
sure
behind it
you,
there.
Josh,
And,
could tell me I could really dress these up, but
God, he's good, isn't he? Oh,
Take off.
so here's my kingfisher, a belted kingfisher that I have in the back here. That's about the most action shot I have of him. Everything else is just a blur. So the Z9 is going to fix that for me. I'm going to get my I'm going to get my
focus
beak
on
meat
its
in the
anus.
water. I'm going to get the old beak meeting his reflection back there with the Z9. This is my carrier for my big lens and tripod. Here's some of my fellows back there. This is 3 years ago.
Oh, look at that, man. That's cool. Look, they're making a spear to kill you with. They're
Planet of the Apes.
yeah.
Planet of the Beavers.
I don't know how, but they're working tools. I don't know how they're doing it.
So I had a ball shooting those one day. I actually got some video footage, but now I can't find it. So I will eventually. But so this is the beaver population that are now gone back there. They got rid of them because they were eating everybody's ornamental trees up, which I didn't think they would bother, but evidently they did.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, it's a great shot.
Yeah.
He came up to say hello.
Thanks, Charles. Oh, look at that. Getting his hair done. He's got a date. There's that spear again. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him. If he knows where you live, you lock your doors.
Yeah. Look, check for opposable thumbs. You see the opposable?
It's like the Velociraptor. Oh, I like that.
So a few more birds as we go through here. So these are my birdie and there's my Juncos. I think Woody just posted some photos over on Nikon Amateurs group of the Juncos, the snowbirds. And I still haven't seen them here yet, which is really surprising me. There's my
wow, look at the color there. That's gorgeous.
A merganser. It's a hooded merganser. That's the female. Somebody said, well, it's got way too much color in it. I said, well, it almost looked like that actually. It was golden hour. So I'm leaving it that way.
Perfect. You leave it how you like it.
There's the hubby.
Yeah, look at that eye.
He's a sharp dressed man, isn't he?
I got my eye on you. Oh, I like that.
Again.
Yeah.
Take
a tail feather, baby.
Yeah. Oh man. But
anyway, that's good. Yeah, that's. Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
And there's the merganser pair again.
God, those eyes, jeebus.
She was very photogenic, posing every which way for me.
Yeah, he likes the camera.
And which is weird because they are so skittish, just like the wood ducks. Man, I can't get near them back there. I have to just lay in wait forever. But I didn't see them this year. It really bothered me. I don't know where the ducks went this year. So I'll just get through these. You can you can't have too many of the same photo. That's what Bayou Josh was saying, right?
No, yeah, that's right.
He was deleting them.
You never know. One might be just a little bit sharper than the other one.
Exactly.
That's no kidding, right? Don't you love it when you're out there and you take 10,000 pictures and you get home and you're like, what the hell was I? What was I doing? Like, what was I taking a picture of? Is that through a mirror?
No, it's actually a glass on the other side of it, a glass door that I had the camera set up. I was just sitting there one day taking photos and then wondered why they were soft and realized I needed to clean the door.
I like your Navy SEAL attachment there on top.
And I'll tell you what, and I'll have that on the camera at 800 millimeter as well, because trying to find something through the viewfinder at 800 millimeter.
Oh, no kidding.
Difficult at best, but
you'll get dizzy.
Yes. The little aim point on top, believe it or not, narrows that search considerably.
Yeah, that's sharp thinking. I never even thought of that.
Sight, and I know that it's vicinity of the center of the lens. So
that's what every backyard astronomer uses. That's what we use in astronomy. Is it? Something like that.
And that's good thinking.
Yeah, it helps you. Yep. It helps.
So
My tactical
that's just a
setup.
photo I took.
That's my daily driver.
Show. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
there he
another
is.
one of my
Oh,
moon
yeah.
photos.
Very sharp. Look at that. I could
What
see the astronauts running around on it. That's nice.
what lens did you use,
That
Chuck?
was with the 400-2.8 with a TC17 and a D500. So I'm getting as much out of it as I can get.
Yeah,
I
squeezing
think it's
the
9
juice. Yeah.
something millimeter equivalent.
Wow.
So, yeah, you don't need that, but I just had it out there one day and said, I'm going to go out and try the whole combination. And then it's a matter of, just eventually you get the one that is as sharp as you want it. So,
I like it. Getting really super sharp shots of the moon is difficult, so that's a good one.
these are, believe it or not,
Yes.
that orange behind this bird is a cedar tree that has turned for the season in the autumn, is turned orange already.
Man,
And
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better backdrop.
no kidding. That's gorgeous.
all of them, except maybe this one. This one's awesome too.
yeah, so the sky's
Wow.
peeking through the tree there. There's that orange again.
That's awesome.
So these little guys kept me entertained for a few hours one day. Now I'll tell you right now, the photos are a little darker that you're seeing here. I don't know why it comes, but on my screen over here, it's different. I can see the
Brighter.
feed. So anyway, these are my little birdies, my little black-capped chickadee, and I've got nuthatches and everything else here.
Do y'all have any warblers up there?
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you what they look like. I know they're here, but
Yellow-breasted warbler.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Little greenish, yellowish tint. Yeah, that's
Mike nuthatch and the black-capped chickadees. Yeah, I actually did look them up for a while. So some of these, believe it or not, were shot with light. I brought, I took one of my,
I was going to ask.
yes, I took
There was
one
a
of my-
beautiful bird you had in the snow, and it looked very, very bright. And I was like, "Holy
Yes.
cow!" You must have lit it up, and I like that. That's cool.
and it's not all of them, but I set up branches to do this. This is artificially lit, but I don't like the feeder. This obviously is as well. Probably could have toned it down a little bit,
I like it.
but hiding.
probably wouldn't. They're eating
That's
there.
one of my photos at an event. This guy I like it. It's just one of those photos I like. It just says something. But anyway, all right, folks, let me get off the screen here. Back to
We got a question for you, Briar. Here it says, "What is your thought process when looking for street photography shots? Do you have a process? Composition?"
I mean, I look for texture, and I know what part. I've been living in Baton Rouge for 20 something years now, so what parts of town has the cool looking stuff. But as far as like composition, I mean, if there's symmetry, I try to exploit it. If there's a leading line, try to exploit that. Just goes back to the basics, rule of thirds and stuff like that. But
That's cool.
but most of the street type stuff I do doesn't involve people. I like to go out and still shoot, graffiti or scapes or something like that. I'm not like a walk around. I don't, now if I'm on vacation at like Universal Studios and I'm with my family, yeah, that's when I'm shooting everything, that's going on just to kind of document it. But just whatever catches your eye, man. If it catches this eye, put it in the camera's eye, try to.
That's cool.
It's kind of how I think about it.
Well, I've got one last picture.
Oh,
Here,
here we go.
let me
And save the
fire
best
up.
for last, right?
Let me fire up my screen here. This is let's see, let me know. Are you able to see? There we go.
Yeah. Under the bridge.
So this was taken years ago with a Canon 6D, and that was the camera I was using before it was stolen. But the reason that I wanted to talk about this picture is because it is not without its controversy, and this is up beautiful Weber Canyon in a very scenic spot, and it was snowing. You can see, I'm not sure if it's coming through there on the screen or not, but you can see that There is
Oh
snow
yeah,
coming
the
down.
streaks. You can see the
Yeah,
streaks.
the streaks are coming down there.
Yeah.
And this was when I was a rookie officer. We had a young woman go missing here in northern Utah.
Oh, now you got me
And I
looking
won't.
for body.
Yeah, no, there's nothing in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
but so I won't give any names or anything like that. But she went missing, and we later found her. She had been murdered, and she was dumped here, and it really struck me as a very profound area. So this picture was taken 1 year after that. Obviously, this is not a crime scene photo, nothing like that, but it was taken a year after, and it was just because I had gotten this camera, and I don't remember even the lens that I was using. I'm sure I could look it up on the metadata, but I found myself just in this area, and I remember having that feeling of letting her down and letting her family down, and this beautiful spot, but yet it is haunted by that memory, and it's haunted by that feeling. And so I took that and just took a picture out of it, and I didn't really think about it probably for years. And I remember looking at this picture maybe 8 or 9 years ago and just being like, man, what was I thinking? What was I taking this picture of? And then I remember, the way that it made me feel. And I remember being there and not wanting to be there anymore. And this is a hard, maybe I wanted to share this because this is kind of a hard subject for us in our line of work when we're doing in law enforcement, because when someone is missing, when someone is hurt, when someone in your community needs your help and you are unable to be there, it is hard. It is hard on you. And these are the things that really take a toll on us. And so I wanted to share this picture with you. And the picture really is of nothing, but more of just a feeling.
So
And
it's
so
a
that's
story.
yeah, exactly. It's that's why I wanted to talk to you guys about it. I would never print it. I would never hang it on a wall. I would never post it on social media or anything like that. But
Yeah,
it is one that I'm
it's-
proud of. And
Yeah, thanks for sharing, man. It's that's photojournalism. That's what that
I'm
is.
not
You're
sure.
telling the
I'm
story.
not sure who painted that there. I'm not sure who spray painted that, and I'm not sure when it was. If it was been before or after. I don't recall.
It's eerie either way. Really.
Yeah. When we were there, the year earlier and investigating and working there, I don't remember seeing it. So I don't know if someone came up as a memorial or if someone just was graffiti tagging, just doing their thing or what, just passing through. But that's what struck me there.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, man.
I appreciate it.
That's awesome. Appreciate
it a lot. Next time I'll have some more pictures.
All right. Let me get us back in a row here. Well, let's try it this way. There we go. So I can hide everything going on behind me that way. So there were some comments up here. I don't know at what point. So folks, I know some people had asked a question about the photos. If it was about I don't know. Good shots. Thank you very much. I mean, no Bayou Josh here, but I still like to play with it. The bison was great. Love that, Chris.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And Bart, that was a
with
beautiful
Nick
shot
here,
of
if
the
I could
blinds
answer
in
that.
your son's room. I really,
He's a good looking kid. That's good.
No, it was just, we know it's just the lens, playing with the lens.
Oh yeah. That's
if
how
I
you
could
learn.
answer this question here from Nick Can. I had started with Canon because my best buddy was a Canon shooter. And so I started with like a Rebel T3 or T2 or something. And then I saved up some money and got the 6D. And the 6D is a decent camera. It was good. The 6D Mark II is a much better camera. But the 6D was good. It was a good step for me because it had a full frame sensor. So it was my first full frame camera, but it didn't do very well in the dark. And it had, I swear to God, that camera had like 12 focusing points or something. It was very, very limited when it came to focusing. And unfortunately, kind of going back with Lee here earlier, I was working in Greektown in Salt Lake, and that camera and all of my lenses were stolen from me. And I was absolutely jutted. I was devastated, especially being that I work in that community already, and then having it stolen like that. And not only did they steal my Canon 6D, but they stole the greatest lens that I had ever used, which was the Canon 100 macro L, the f2.8. I love that lens. I love that combination was so good. So at that point, I was going to, hey Paul, I was going to go back to Canon, and I wanted to get the 5D Mark III. That was the camera that I wanted the most. It was kind of the it camera at the time. And my Canon buddy, he went to Nikon, and he let me shoot. He had the Nikon D800, and so I shot that, loved it. And he said, they have this D750, which might even be a little bit better, frankly. And when I first got my hands on that D750, I mean, it was like a chemical reaction. I felt more confident as a photographer, and I felt like this was the system that I wanted to go with. And I loved the way that skin tones and all that kind of stuff, because I was a boudoir photographer at the time, and I loved the way that skin tones came out of that. I loved it. And so that's what got me to go with Nikon, and I've been ever since. That's the story. Now you know the rest of the story. Oh, I think you're on mute, Briar.
Trying to be quiet. Ultimately, you're quiet. No, I was just saying, the D750 is an awesome camera. If anything's going to convert you over, that's going to do it. That was a beast.
It was such a good one, and I think I did a video about the D700 and talking about how Nikon was trying to capture those first-time entry-level full-frame users, and that's kind of what it came down to. That's where I was, and it wasn't my first full-frame camera, but it was my first full-frame Nikon, and man, couldn't believe just how good it was. And that's still my favorite sensor. That's the sensor that's in the Z6 and the Z6 II. I love that sensor. I hope they don't discontinue it. I hope they keep using it, but I fear that it's at the end of its road here in the next year or two.
Yep, yeah. They've announced it. I think they're going to go up to 33,
which would be nice.
They're going next. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You posed.
I was a boudoir model. I loved it. There's a huge calling for the daddy bear out there, and that's what you get with me.
Please don't make me see that.
Don't body shame me, okay?
Don't picture it.
I can't imagine anybody wanting to see any one of us. Okay, it wasn't just you, but.
Hey, my wife is upstairs. I will go get her.
Uh-oh.
She's my biggest fan.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Paul, in the color science. I believe in it too. I like it. I prefer it over the others. I do like Canon though. I admitted that the other night, but yeah, Nikon's my camera of choice. So real quick, you brought up the astrophotography, or I don't know what to call that. Some people say it's not really astrophotography unless you're tracking with a telescope and getting the celestial bodies out there or whatever. And then the other is nightscapes or something like that. Either way, I don't care. I don't want to offend anybody that's in there, genuine.
If that offends somebody, that's some pretty thin skin.
Man, we're going into 2023 now. There isn't much that doesn't offend people.
Astrology. It's like when you call an amateur astronomer an amateur astrologer. That will insult.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
That's right. What's my sign? What am I doing?
Right. One's science and one is not.
One is bullshit.
Superstition and science, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, Chuck, years ago when I had, it was either my D7100 or maybe my D90, I got some shooting time on the Landau telescope that is atop the physics building at LSU.
Hmm.
It's an 11-foot refractor. I think it's about, I want to say it's about a 1-foot aperture at the at the entrance. And I bought a teleconverter, like a $10 teleconverter, and hooked it up and took some of the most mind-blowing I mean, I wish 47 or 45 megapixel cameras were out at that time.
Mm,
Yeah.
Because this was, I think this was like a 12 megapixel camera,
yeah,
the
zooming
D90.
in.
Oh man, I can, if you want, I can show you guys. Would you like to see a couple of those shots?
Yes.
I can.
What I was going to say is I
Chuck, you're in
have
charge, so whatever.
no, well, I don't mind. We'll check them out. But I've been talking to. Well, I say talking to. I've sent him a couple of emails. We've gone back and forth once or twice. Aaron King, he's out in Salt Lake City, and he does night sky photography, astrophotography, whatever it is. You know, a lot of uh, Milky Way stuff. And
Mhm.
he's using all the programs, and I couldn't tell you what the programs are. So you can literally plot where you need to be for a certain shot.
Yeah.
And he'd been on for a while, and he kind of went away, but his YouTube channel is back. And so I got a hold of him and asked him if he'd be interested in coming on here, because I know there are a lot of people that, even if they don't plan to do it, would like to hear about it. And then maybe it's something that they would want to do.
Mhm.
So that's why I was asking. I know Nikon said that he likes uh, the night sky photography, astrophotography, whatever. And it might be a nice break to get somebody in here, get some people in here talking about that one night, and keep me away from the microphone ranting about marketing at Nikon. But anyway, I don't know if anybody'd care about that. And if so,
I do.
just drop a
I know.
comment.
I'd love to see it. I would love to see that.
Yeah, my attempt at the Milky Way is bad at best. You know, I think I talked about that last week. So, but I wouldn't mind hearing from all you guys and talking about. It's not just the capturing. I think that's something that's doable for most people if you
Mhm.
work at it a little bit. It's what do you do after you capture it? It's all
Yeah,
in the editing.
the editing is
Because
a big deal with Milky Way
nobody ever
photography.
told me that it doesn't magically appear in all those beautiful colors when you pull it up on the screen. I don't know why it would look too much different from the sky, but I just expected it did after seeing all the edited photos of it. And there are some fantastic photos out there of that. So, NPI.
And we wait and wait and wait. I would love to do that though.
Uh,
I'd love to do like a astronomy, an
yeah, if you
astronomy
guys would like
hour.
that, I'll try to get a hold of him and get a couple of folks in here that,
What's his address? I'll go to his house.
I don't know, but I will send you. You should be able to get it.
That's right.
But I think it'd be fun. Maybe some people get some enjoyment out of that as well. But we're not going to give up our rants. We'll find something else to rant about before we get started on the fun stuff. But yeah, if you're interested in that, Briar, I need a couple of you in here that can keep the conversation going, other than me or Stu or whoever else just asking a ton of questions and not being able to get very far.
Yeah, most of what I've done is lunar. I got to use two telescopes.
Mhm.
One is the Landau that I mentioned, and then we have one at the observatory here in Baton Rouge. We have a 20-inch aperture and a 16-inch aperture Ritchie Craighead telescope. Now, that's a telescope. It's the same optical configuration as the Hubble. It's a reflecting telescope, but it is a mini Hubble. The only difference is Hubble is in space, and it's super cooled. So it takes better pictures, and there's no atmosphere to look through down here. That's the
Right.
advantage of putting telescopes in space, all the
Right.
atmosphere. But man, it is exquisite. It's amazing because when you look through a Ritchie Craighead, let's say you're looking at Jupiter at 200 times magnification. So you can see Jupiter and you can see its moons. You can see Io, Ganymede,
Wow.
Callisto, and you can even see the colors of those moons.
Wow.
Now, on Jupiter, what's really crazy is, and Jupiter is like, 400 million miles away. Okay. You can resolve some of the cloud bands. You can resolve some of the swirls and festoons in those cloud bands Some of those things are just like a third the size of Earth. So from 400 million miles away in a 20-inch telescope, you can see things that are smaller than the Earth.
Wow.
That is next level.
You know, and you can see the cloud. You know, it's unreal, man. It changes you. The first time I saw Saturn through a telescope, it changed me. It made me think about things differently, because it's just like an ornament hanging there, and you've got the ring system and the Cassini division in between the two major ring systems, and you can see these things, and it's just like, this exists. You know, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's
What
out
is it
there.
about capturing that yourself that makes it even more special? You know, what is it? Because I mean, we've seen a bajillion pictures of it up close and
Yeah,
everything.
you're not going to
else.
get better than the Hubble. Nobody's going to take a better shot of Saturn or of a
But why
nebula
is
than the
it
Hubble
when
Space
you
Telescope.
take
So,
that first, you capture it the first time, that's the coolest picture of it you've ever seen in your life, just because
exactly.
you did. It's like
Exactly.
an accomplishment, you know, knowing how far away it is and everything else.
Yep.
I think
Battery died.
no. There we go. It's that's Windows 11. I think is the issue there.
Terry's tempting me down here. Matt Irwin has 2 Z9 cameras.
Yeah, and good for him. So he did. I was actually just talking to him yesterday. I was talking with him on a Zoom. Of course, he's 17 hours ahead, so it's a tough one. But he's on vacation, and we were talking about that. And he has one that's from Nikon, but he has to return that from Nikon Australia. And then the other one, was the retail one that he pre-ordered. And I was like, I was so pissed. I was like, I should have just ordered mine in Australia and had you ship it to me.
Yeah. Well, Matt Granger has 2.
Yep, he has 2 as well.
Nikon
Yeah.
Asia, either gave one, I didn't give to him, but gave him an opportunity for another one, or he lucked out in another draw or something. Yeah.
They could have just had one extra in the store, and he's got an extra $5,500 or whatever the conversion is out there. And
Okay,
I was just talking to him too the other day. Where's he at? Is he in Singapore?
Hong Kong?
I think so.
Hong Kong?
Is he in? I don't know.
I think he might live in Hong Kong. I'm not sure.
He was here in New York for a while, then he left out there. And we were talking about it.
He made a bad move moving here during COVID. I mean, I know it was planned before COVID, but yeah,
Right.
he kind of got caught up in that mess here. But I don't think that's the only reason you would leave New York. I mean, I've been down there. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great place to visit, but I would not want to live there. I'm a country.
It's a tough one.
My wife's a New Yorker. She grew up there. So I say that in jest because I can.
Do I need a USA warranty though, Paul? I mean, it's built factory tough.
Oh, speaking of which, there are 2 Z9s, maybe more now, that were on eBay.
Really?
Oh, I saw that.
Yes.
How much?
Yes,
For
one
more
for
than they.
1,000 Canadian and another one for 6,500.
How much Canadian?
11 grand.
So what is that, like $18?
No offense, our Canadian folks. I have no idea. So now, how many are we going to see on? And some people usually complain about that. People that are they decide that they're going to buy 1 or 2 or even 1. I mean, how about the guy that just left his F5 for a Z9? Maybe he thinks, I don't want it anymore. Can he sell it, or is there anything in the NPS, bylaws that say you can't sell it at least for a year or whatever?
I doubt it. I
don't know.
They just want you to buy it.
You know what? A lot of people get upset about it and say, well, they're charging a premium, or if you were to do it or I was to do it, well, you're just a shyster, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think they are either. You know what? If somebody's willing to pay that price, they want it that bad, there's nothing wrong with that. So those that are selling them at those crazy prices, which right now, 6,500 for a Z9 is like a bargain.
Yeah.
Where else you getting one?
That's $600 more than I paid for it.
Yeah.
So.
Where else are you going to get one? If you want it that bad,
it's just supply and demand.
So, yep, I'm sure they're going to hit. Well, they can't hit them too heavily yet. So what are those? Are those gray market cameras, and where do they come from?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Question. You'd have to have a serial number to
I don't talk about colors.
determine it.
Yes, it was supposed to be 6,500 USD. I haven't looked it up on eBay. Somebody was looking at it and told me. So,
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't been plugged in. I do not watch the news. I news
gosh,
blackout.
Me
I pay
neither.
a little more for one now. It may be months. Yeah, that's the whole point. Is if somebody is selling one for 65, well, it's probably gone. If somebody
Right.
was, that's a goner.
What's that?
There you go.
Yeah,
Was
that
that a
was
lens hood?
That's my lens
Oh,
hood
yeah.
there.
Uh,
Well, my comrades, I need to go upstairs and help the kittens getting into bed. My
alrighty.
You know all about that.
my wife got exposed to some ammonia gas at work, so
Oh.
she's out of order. She's got a sore throat, so yeah. So I'm gonna head upstairs and try to put the kids to sleep without moida.
Good man.
Yeah. Chuck,
All right.
I appreciate the invitation to come on. I appreciate it deeply. It means a lot to me. I really enjoy talking with all of our subscribers and everyone that's been commenting. It really means a lot. And Briar, it was amazing to meet you.
Great to meet you too, buddy.
I am embarrassed that I haven't seen your channel, so I'm going to look that up.
I don't have a channel.
What?
You won't find it. I don't have a channel. There's something wrong with me.
You obviously you have a camera. Let's get your channel started tomorrow.
There you go.
I don't know if my wife will allow that. I'll have to do it in secret.
Well, don't tell her.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
That's right.
That's the secret to a good marriage.
I would love to see your astrophotography. So if we can hammer that out, I would.
Oh, sure.
I would love
It's
that.
mostly lunar stuff. I have a little bit of Milky Way work, but it's mostly lunar stuff because I had access to those telescopes, man, and I just had to take it. So
Yeah.
Man, right on. Yeah. So and then Chuck, next time I'm on, I'll get some pictures from Lightroom there, and we'll hammer it out.
All right, brother. All right.
Ooh,
Hey.
I'll get some pictures with my new 105.
oh
Look,
man,
for
you're
you
gonna
guys
love that. You're gonna
You
love
guys
that
that
lens.
don't know Stewblue, get over to his channel and check it out. Stew's always fun, and you know what? He's got a new thing going, or well, not.
Tell me
too
more.
old. Huh?
Tell me more.
With your history.
Yeah. So I'm doing.
You want to know how the D700 came about? Go over to Stu's channel.
Yeah,
and
that's
watch it. It's
It's
interesting.
the history snapshot. I appreciate that.
I
Yeah,
didn't know you were doing that. I'm gonna check that out. Awesome.
It's been a lot of fun. I've been learning a lot about the Nikon history there. So I have a new video coming soon about the Soviet KMZ Start camera and its competition with Nikon.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have to put something together, some little video about me speaking Russian to someone. So
Make sure even Drago from Rocky IV is in there. That's all I ask.
oh boy, yes. I'll call what's his name? God, what is his name? I can't remember now.
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren, I'll call him, yeah.
All right.
Vigavanichi Puruski, comrade.
I must break you.
For sure.
I'm sure that's going to be good too. I mean, I honestly, I enjoyed the D700 ride. You know, okay,
Thank you. That was fun, yeah.
I had one, but I didn't know that much about how it came about, exactly when it came about, and everything else. So it was interesting.
Yeah, that's the camera that kind of started it all, I think, for shooters like me that were looking to get into that first round. All right, well, like I said before, I'm gonna hit the bricks with my children.
You better get up there,
I
man.
will, I'll see you
Great to
later.
meet you, Chris.
Yeah, you too,
Take care,
comrade.
buddy.
Thanks again, Chuck, and hope everyone stays blue. See you guys.
All right, buddy. All right, buddy. Thanks for being here, buddy. All right. I knew Chris would liven things up. It's always fun having him around.
Yeah, he's a
Smart
great
guy, too. Smart guy. So, yeah, if you haven't been over, check his channel out. It's always fun. his skits and things that he does, but the little history thing that he's been doing lately is interesting. Looking forward to this little whatever between Nikon and Russia. That ought to be interesting. It would be the Soviet Union
Right
in
back
that
then.
time.
Yep.
It wouldn't
Yep.
be just Russia.
That's right.
All right, all right. So a lot of comments in here, folks. Sorry, I hope nobody feels like we've kind of turned a blind eye to the chat section. I noticed there's some comments over here now about the gray market, and I think the eBay comments stirred that. And I'm getting rid of these headphones because I don't know why a phone call. I'll get that working better. I'm just going to have to put out a little cheat sheet right up front. Here's what you do if you want to call in because it's just difficult.
So somebody got through. You just couldn't hear them, right? They
Yeah.
got through, but
So,
okay.
yeah. I don't know why, but I don't know who that was. But if you're in here in the chat and you called, at least drop a comment saying what you heard on your end. We'll work this the hard way.
Chuck,
Yeah,
excuse me 1 sec. I'm going to get a washcloth and a towel so my little guy can take a bath. Be right back.
absolutely, absolutely. Family first, man. All right. Let's see, East German camera. I'm glad to see some folks in there I haven't mentioned by name. James, I've seen you in there. Robert Daniels, good to see you. Agnetha, always great to see you. Paul Connors. A good. Oh, you were the one that dropped the comment. There were 2 left. Wow. $6,500. Even if they're gray market, that's still a good price for somebody that's just got to have it now. You called. I didn't recognize the number. All right. Test the lenses and picture quality was the only way of clarity in the situation through Nikon Tech. Oh, Robert, was this gray market? Are you back? Are you back, Briar?
I am back. There we go. Had to unmute once again.
Okay, no problem. Oh.
Yeah, I've never bought gray market before. What I would typically do would be just to buy a refurb or something. But I guess if it's brand new and you want it, and a gray market is the only one if that's your only option, then I could understand that. But I've never been brave enough to go gray market. Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Paul. Yeah, Briar, don't buy gray market in the USA. I'm glad I haven't. Yeah, I've never heard anything good about it, and that's why,
Hassan, I am using the 14 to 30 S lens on the Z6 to stream.
Chuck, what
Right
kind of
before,
lighting? What kind of lighting are you using? If you don't mind me asking, it's beautiful, man.
for me,
Yeah.
it's a
Is it
cheap, or not. It's not cheap. It is cheap, and it isn't. LED, flexible LED panel that I put inside a softbox, a cheap softbox that I had, and I just threw it up there for ambient light when I'm just running around in here doing other things. And I sat down here and looked in the Adamus 5 and thought, wow, it don't look too bad.
It looks great. Yeah.
So it saved me one of my big lights over there. I need to get it off to the side a little bit, but I'm just kind of cramped in the corner I'm in to keep the area open for the studio. Let's see, Nikon won't service gray market. Yeah, I've heard that, but then I've heard people that may be lying say they could get it done somehow. I'm not taking the chance. Extended warranty that overrides U.S. warranty. That is how these. Okay. Talking about gray market. purchases.
Paul's going to do some
Black and
film
white
photography with his F100. Nice.
Yep. You know, we ought to get a branch spun off this because there are several film photographers in here. Terry, you know, you ought to lead that gang, and I know that's big. So, for those of you guys that don't get to see a lot of what Terry produces, he puts a lot of it on Facebook. He's always carrying his camera around with him, and it's always fun to watch. I love black and white anyway. And outdoor black and white, landscape black and white can be fantastic. Not everything works, but they can be fantastic.
Yeah.
And he just posted one that's beautiful with the snow and everything else. Man, that works great in black and white. Let's see.
Is there a link where I could check out his work? We could check out his work.
You know, it's on Facebook. Well, I mean,
okay.
he's posting some of it on. I have a Facebook channel, Nikon Amateurs Group, and
okay.
He's been posting some of it there. Of course, he posted on his own Facebook page as well. But yeah, and I enjoy following it. And Woody with the bird photography. Bayou Josh, you still in here? You snuck in. You spoke up. So, the conversation goes on the gray market, and I can't get in the middle of that because I don't know anything about it other than I've always been told stay away from it. And hearing
Me
some
too.
of the stories in here, that's probably wise advice.
More proof, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I guess not a lot, but some talking about being burned by a gray market here in the U.S. I need my Z9, don't we all? Yeah, Amazon is guilty of selling gray market. I've seen that too. Not that I was affected by it, but somebody else was. And he asked a question, and it was even given. Yes, it was U.S., not gray market. James, we're having too much fun. I'm going way back here. So, well, you didn't get to ask that question. Talking to Stewblue about whether he was going to use it for portraits or macro. Probably both, knowing him. He'll probably play with both. Mosman, killing time for you. Brother, that's why we're here. When people are bored, we're here to support their boredom. Oh, I know that feeling, getting stuck in the airports. Tired of doing that. Agnetha, thanks for all the comments again. All right, folks. So, what's the next prediction on the next shipment? Boy, this ought to be fun. We ought to run a little competition for it because B&H, you know, I'm not taking up for B&H, but first of all, why is B&H trying to take up for anybody else? They should have just been passing the buck. I said this earlier today. If anybody called B&H, or if I were there, or if I was telling them what to do, I'd tell them, anybody calls asking about the Nikon Z9, tell them what we know, which is nothing. We don't know anything. If we did, we would tell you. However, if you want to know, we encourage you to call Nikon USA, and here's the number. That's what we need to do, is get people call there. They're responsible people, not B&H. If B&H is responsible, we'd all have one right now. Because they'd be wheeling and dealing with Nikon Corporation. So those questions we need to start pushing over to Nikon USA until they get tired of hearing them, because they're the only ones that can give us any information about when those cameras are going to arrive. So what is the shipment schedule? How many? If you can't give us exact numbers, just at least let us know. It will not be October before you see another one. That would be nice. And just let us know that maybe every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, whatever it is, we can expect additional camera bodies. You don't have to give us exact numbers, although I know you have them. So just help us out, folks. Help us out. We're willing to buy it. We just want some information. While we wait, use the gear you have. Yes. Don't get hung up on it. Yeah, well, that's my job. I'm supposed to keep the frenzy going. No, just kidding. But you know what? It is true that we need to speak up more about so many things that are going on. And I don't know if we can make a difference or not, but we can try. Uh, Hang on a second. Got a problem. Briar's got a problem. He may be out for the night. Nothing serious. Okay. Appreciate him being in here tonight. See more of him too. I don't know why I can't get. There we go. All right. All right. What's on your mind, folks? What's on your mind? Predates the pandemic. Yes, sir, it does. Uh, man, man, I hate to hear that, Paul. Let me throw it up here. I mean, I know it's your prediction, um, but I really hate to hear that. As we were talking, this is Nikon's opportunity to shine. This is a time for them to get back some of what they've lost over the last few years, and it's a shame when they have this opportunity in front of them. And I know they can only make as many as they can make, and parts will be an issue, and all the other things, but there's a way to address this without looking bad, and we're just not seeing it. It's better to speak up, get in front of it, and I think any U.S. corporation will be the first to tell you that. I just don't know why we're not hearing anything. Who said? And I go back to James. Who said they're making 3,500 a month? Did Nikon Corporation say that? I I don't remember seeing that right from Nikon Corporation or a quote from Nikon Corporation. I know that people have said, even Rishi said, the rumor is there are 3,500 a month. I just don't know. If it is 3,500, that's fine. But again, has anybody seen anything that's come from Nikon Corporation, Japan? Anybody seen anything coming from them since the launch about the shipment and the problems that we're seeing right now? I have not. Not one word. Yeah, I thought it was Japan too, James, but I can't verify that. And if I remember correctly, listening earlier to Rishi, it was, I think he even used the words rumor is or something like that. So let's get away from the rumors. And a corporation as big as Nikon shouldn't be relying on rumors. It should be right out front stating what's going on, and assuring people what they're doing to make this as painless as possible. And I'm tired of people telling me, well, you can look around and see what it is. That No, that doesn't take the place of the company itself standing up and saying, this is what we're doing. We can't completely omit the impact of all these issues, but here's what we're doing. And rest assured, we're producing as many as we can, or whatever, or at least tell us there it's definitely 3,500 a month or whatever. There isn't a corporation in the world that couldn't tell you every nut and bolt they have in inventory. So Nikon knows this isn't we don't know. They know all too well. And now it's time to step forward and let everybody else know. Let us know. Again, Sony, Canon, Fuji have stepped up to the plate and talked about it. It's time for Nikon to address it, especially since they're right in the middle of one of their largest, most important deliveries in since the D850. One more piece at a time. That's the other thing. So let's talk about some of the things that we've seen that I've seen. Now, granted, a lot of it's been over on Facebook, people talking about, but they just got their Z9, or they just got notified that it shipped yesterday and it'll be here tomorrow. So where are these coming from? These extra cameras. How is it they haven't been shipped already? So that's interesting. That's one thing that I've seen that's been common over there on the new Nikon Z9 page. Let's see, Chuck. You need to remember the Nikon has a huge personnel headcount reduction. I'm just going to pull it up here. Over the last 18 months, and have offshored almost all manufacturing from Japan. They did this a while back, though, so don't get caught up in the idea that they just now did it, or just did it even 18 months ago. The plant in Thailand's been up and running for a while, so it isn't like they're just now trying to work the bugs out of the manufacturing. That's been up and running, so that doesn't even enter into the equation. They did restructure. Most of the restructuring took place in the corporate sector, though, not in the manufacturing segment. They honestly can't afford to reduce that much. And the executive, this is before or right at the announcement, he did an interview, and he said they may have to ramp up. Production and add another shift, or I don't know how he said it. So it's there, it's available. So that's out the window. Nikon is a smaller manufacturing business. They may not have the capability of turning out the numbers that Sony or Canon or somebody else does. I get that as well. But again, I go back to the lack of communication. Why can't they communicate this to us? We don't need it through rumor mills and supposition by, armchair quarterbacks that are doing a decent job at looking at the tea leaves. I mean, we need it from the corporation. And I think it goes along. So I keep saying all this. And why am I saying it? Because I want to see Nikon grow again. I want to see them not just succeed. They're going to succeed, but I want them to succeed excessively. Okay. And the only way they're going to do it is to change some of their practices and get out of the stodgy old man business model and speak to their clients. They don't even, I'm not sure they know who that is anymore. And it's not you or I. We've been with them a long time. We're not carrying them that much, going to carry them that much further down the road. They need the next generation to come on board, and they need to find a way to entice them into the Nikon brand. And these things like this do not help, because they get amplified by all the influencers out there that hate Nikon. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. There's a lot going on that they're not aware of. We need that new generation coming up. And that's why I'm on the outs with a lot of the old timers, because I know that it has to be video that picks them up and takes them to the next level. And a lot of people do not agree with that. They could care less and they don't want to pay for video. And I keep saying that you're not getting still centric cameras anymore. You're not going to get a high-end, super still-centric camera. It won't be for a while because there are fewer of those than there are the hybrid shooters. And because people my age hang out with people my age, they can't see what's going on down there in the younger ranks. And those 20-somethings are the next generation. They want hybrid cameras, and they want hybrid cameras that work well. Yes, the Z9 is a step in the right direction, and a lot of that has to fall out into the next consumer level, whatever that is, camera for those hybrid shooters. Let's see. Nikon, let's see, often adds a little fix to some of the cameras after launch, such as the increase of the buffer for the D3. Thus, getting the Z9 slightly late can be a good thing. Yeah, no doubt about it. But you know what? I'll take it and apply the firmware updates myself. Thank you. I'm not working. I'm not worried about the bugs. I know there are people that, and there's horror stories that were just blown out of proportion. Not that it isn't true, but it just got blown out of proportion about different things and fixes, and the D600 and the oil spots and so on and so forth. But you know what? I haven't been burnt yet. Maybe I've been lucky on every model I've bought. So, and I'll take it now and take that chance, and I'll do the firmware updates myself. Now, that said, That's the petulant child way of looking at it. I understand that I can't have it right now for several reasons, but I don't like not knowing if I'll have it this year or next year. Again, Nikon, make a better name for yourself and let that next generation that's looking right now, do I jump to Nikon? You're not making it easy for them to make that decision. Well, you are maybe. And I'm going to continue to harp on that. I want Nikon to succeed because I love my Nikon cameras. Uh, uh, yes, yeah, cameras are great. I mean, cell phones are great. My wife's one of those, and she has a blast with her cell phone. Obviously, she's not going to carry a camera around, nor does she even care because it's easier for her. She doesn't care. She's not pixel peeping, so she looks at a photo, she loves it or she doesn't, and she's fine with that. We're not going to get those folks back to cameras. Those days are over. Uh, Mine will be delivered 4/22. There's a possibility, Paul. It could be then. It could be 2 weeks from now. We don't know, but again, we don't. And when's the next shipment coming from Nikon? Is that too much to ask from the company that we're sitting around waiting on? I don't think so. They need to speak up and give us something. It's bad management and leadership. Definitely not very good marketing. So, warranty issue. I'll never buy a new camera from overseas. Okay. Uh, yeah, they need to give us an update, James. I mean, it's just that simple. I'm dramatizing it to make a point. I want to drive it home, and maybe other people continue to repeat it. And eventually that does get back to their ears. If not their ears, at least maybe to Nikon USA, who I am not happy with right now. I think they've got some terrible management going on over there. Man, I hear nothing but complaints from people that are using NPS and sending to New York for their cameras for this, that, or whatever, warranty work and what isn't. Come on, maybe that place needs to be cleaned up a little bit too. I mean, I'm just basing it on consumer reports, if you will. You buy a high-end sports car, you get to know your mechanic by name. High-end cameras require maintenance also. Yes, absolutely. All right, Robert, good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping by. Oh, Bermuda. Wow. Well, you better be taking some photos, man. I wish I was down there to take some photos. Mm-mm. Enjoy yourself, buddy. Enjoy it. All right. Yeah, James, I know that they do because I have heard that through the grapevine that they do keep their fingers on a lot of things that are going on in forums and whatnot. I don't know if they do it directly or they just have their own peeping toms or whatever, but either way, that's fine. They need to get over there and start telling the management that, hey, there's a lot of rumbling going on. And guess what? The villagers are lighting their torches and sharpening their pitchforks. And, I see it coming in 3 weeks. If we don't have any word and nothing else has happened, you're going to see a whole lot more people out grumbling about it. Why? Because we expect to be a continuous trickle of cameras at a minimum. And there's nothing wrong with people expecting that either until Nikon stands up and says something. So don't be calling those people children, and the people that are saying that, a lot of them are the petulant children that already have their Z9 and they're over there on Nikon Z9 page boasting about it. That's professional services there. Let's hope whatever deliveries they make in the USA are by air rather than by ships, which are sitting miles off San Pedro and Long Beach. And I heard another rumor about that now it will be by ship. And this is rumor. I'm not saying it's even close to being true or it isn't, but you're shipping, but they're going through the Panama Canal all the way over to the East Coast here in the US and delivering in New York instead of on the West Coast. Doesn't make any sense to me either, other than maybe it's the backlog or whatever. So there may be some credibility to it, but there's no reason why they wouldn't be using air shipment for cameras right now. Why? If you shipped every camera built in 1 month. That's 3,500 cameras. It's probably cheaper and it's definitely quicker than using boats and ship and everything else. So the real truth is, for the 200 or 300 cameras expected to be, arrive out of the next batch, there's no reason why they wouldn't air those here. It just makes sense. Well, if they know what's good for them, they will. Nikon USA taking some advice from some badly run airlines. Yep. Yes, yes, BFS they have, but they clearly list it's gray market. You're absolutely right. I've seen that in the past. You're absolutely right. So B&H has sold gray market products, but they made sure that you knew that it was gray market. And because you when you first go down the line, you're looking, okay, D850, for instance. Here it is for 30 or 34.95, and then right below it's another D850 for 32.95 because it was gray market. You're not NPS, that's fine, and it didn't matter if you were, James. I harp on NPS, but it's not the members so much. It's the fact that the way they divvied this whole thing up, they being Nikon USA, leaving it open for 2 months and then bumping who knows how many hundred people out of a camera, in the first few cameras that are actually going to arrive. That was just criminal, in my opinion. Whoever runs Nikon USA over there needs to be fired. Therefore, if they see me in this live stream, I'll never get NPS membership. Not that that's going to kill me. Have a great night, Ray. Thanks for dropping by, man. Happy New Year to you, buddy. Yeah, there are going to be some people that are going to migrate, that were holding out hope and will continue their journey to Canon or Sony, or some that were actually looking at coming back based on, all the wonderful news about this camera and everything that it can do. But now, if they're a Canon holdout, there's a good chance that you're not keeping those folks. They're going by the way. When the R1's announced and its capability, it's going to be just as capable as the Z9, or more so. And they're just going to give up on the Z9. So again, Nikon missed opportunity. So there you have it. Yeah, you can fit a lot of Nikon gear on a 747. You're absolutely right. I mean, how much would it cost to hire DHL or, UPS to fly a plane load? Same camera. Yeah, it's the same camera, but no warranty on the gray market. Really good reason for someone to switch brands, and it's expensive. Yeah, there are people that still will do it, but you're right. It takes a commitment to say you're going to switch brands. But you know what? For those in the Nikon camp that aren't going to wait, they're just going to go from DSLR and jump over whole hog to mirrorless. It's going to be kind of the same thing. If you're not keeping a bunch of F-glass to use with your mirrorless, or just to keep for keeping, and DSLRs, you're going to liquidate all that for your move over into mirrorless. It's just like moving to another brand almost. So people will do it. I mean, shoot, I'm going to have to do it here before too awfully long. As soon as I have the equivalent on this side for mirrorless, then I start liquidating a whole lot of F-mount glass and the rest of my cameras. I may keep I don't know. I may keep the D850. I don't know why. Maybe not. Nikon uses UPS logistics. DHL for Europe. Okay. And they don't send them by ship. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would find that to be a little crazy, actually, to do that, to send by ship. Come on. That'll take care of them. All right. Well, this was a crazy night in the live stream. I knew that I definitely wanted to talk about Nikon, but it was kind of fun having everybody else in and seeing some photos. And now you guys actually know I have taken a photo. They may not be good, but I have taken photos. Oh, this is just becoming a game here. See me asking for, I don't know why they can't allow photos to be sent to external USB-C. Yeah. Yeah, so many people have asked that. It is a good question. Yeah, I don't know that the external discs are actually fast enough for the high frame rate, but they're still fine for most of the video and and burst of the photos as well. So yeah, I don't know. Will Nikon change that in the future? It is a possibility because a lot of people are talking about it. So it is something that's possible, I guess. Now, a lot of manufacturers, car manufacturers especially, will not put a lot of things on vehicles, and in cameras, the same thing, put things on because there's some unwritten deal with third party manufacturers for accessories and things like that. I don't know if that would have anything to do with it or not, but I know that is often the case on the car side of the house or vehicle side of the house. Yeah, if they don't have any stock, they can't ship them. You're right. Um, yeah, David, and that's good. Yeah, I'd like to have one. You're absolutely right. Um, it still work outside 34 Celsius or 35 Celsius or 35 below Celsius. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong for anybody that says, look, I can wait. I don't care. I wasn't planning and blah, blah, blah. That's wonderful. But there are a lot of people that want it. I mean, that's the whole point. This isn't a service related, life sustaining business that we're in, photography. Okay. So none of us can say that. So I have to have it for my business because I'm a professional photographer. No, you don't. You've been making it on what you have. You don't really need to. Uh, but if you want it, that's a different story. And Nikon doesn't provide emergency services equipment. They provide entertainment equipment that people use in business, yes, but that's all it is. So if you want it, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like we're, forced to stand in a line and wait so that we can make our bread and butter. And for those that sold everything out from under their feet and made their money with cameras and now they're with none, waiting on the Z9, well, you know what? Better planning next time. CFE cards. I saw somebody that was talking about not CFE cards, no, but external hard drives, faster SSD drives. I saw a DIY thing a while back on that. Mm. So now I have a bunch of Lexar XQD cards. When XQD, or I'm sorry, when Lexar was getting ready to go out of business before they officially said, that's it, we're done and we're selling out, they did a fantastic sale for a few months on their cards. And I bought a bunch of them because they were dirt cheap at the time. So I have a bunch of Lexar XQD cards, 64 gig and 128 gig. They will work in the Z9 for the majority of what I want to do. And that was good news. But if I want to hit that trigger, and play the machine gun tune on it, then I have to have the faster cards with the minimum write speed of 1400. So, but for the most part, I can run around taking photos all day long with my XQD cards. Now I do have a couple or a few CF Express cards as well. Um, but it's good news that I can continue to recycle those Lexar cards, those XQD cards. Yes, CF Express, they're expensive, but they're a little cheaper now than they were 6 months ago. So at least they are beginning to show some signs of coming down. The Z9 wasn't going to help get those cards any cheaper, that's for sure, because they know that everybody's going to be looking for those super fast CF Express cards. Uh, External hard drive SSD version. Oh, okay. Is that Nikon? Is that there's we have the same thing with batteries for external power of the battery. You can get DTAP plugins, the dummy battery that goes in the camera. Um, is it possible to do the same thing with a CF Express body, just piping that information out to an external drive? I'm surprised somebody hadn't said something about it yet. I mean, somebody that's trying to develop it or whatever. Yeah, 8 megabit CF cards for the D3. Yeah, like anything new, I guess, and especially something that's in high demand, the price isn't going to be cheap. With my D4, I got my first XQD card. It came with the D4, that Sony 32 gig card. 32 gig XQD card. Came with the camera. Yeah, talking about buying cards now, get them before it's too late. Well, there is a possibility. There is the possibility. And he's talking about specific cards too. You know, you can get anything from XQD up for the camera for just initial use. But I think he's really being specific about right now, the Delkin Black cards are, that's a given. They have a minimum write speed of 1400 millibits. So, and that's the key. If anybody's buying and preparing for the Z9, it's make sure not maximum speeds, maximum write speed of 1750 and maximum read speed of 1550 or whatever. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but what is the minimum write speed? That's the key. And Rishi made that very clear, and it seems to have been lost, but some people continue to reiterate it. 1400 uh, 1400 minimum write speed will get you through the 20 frames lossless or whatever we're calling it burst. A burst isn't so bad. It's letting it fill the buffer and the buffer not clearing fast enough flowing to the card. So that's the reason for the write speed. There is one, but for video only. Yes. Let's see what we get now. James, what are you talking about specifically there? I think you can do 8K 30 on any of the CFE cards that are out there right now. Now, when RAW's available, that may be a different story. I don't know, but I think you can do 8K 30 on those cards. And a lot of the manufacturers are actually putting that in their advertising, even over on B&H when you're looking at CFE cards. And if not, you can look in the question and answer, and somebody's asked that question about 8K. But I think all of them, pretty much all of them, will handle 8K. It's that 20 frames per second continuous is where you run into the problem. So you can shoot 20 frames per second continuous, even with slower cards. It's just going to choke faster. That's what I was talking about, James. I'm surprised we haven't seen that out yet. As soon as that's out commercially, that's going to be a big item for people. It's going to be a real big item for people that are shooting video because then you probably have a cage on the camera to add all these different accessories. Yes, David, you're absolutely right. So you can look at it that way, continuous, but most don't say that. They might put minimum, but if they put a minimum write speed, then that's what you want to look at. You need a minimum write speed of 1400 to keep up with the buffer on the Z9 in continuous mode. Uh, Looking back here, trying to see what it is. Who else is in here? What are you guys up to? Have we run everybody off yet? Man, this phone's really driving me crazy. I can, if that was you, I don't know why it did not work, but I didn't hear anything on my end. I'm gonna have to work on that some more because I really want to get that going. I want you guys to get in here and just get on the air and talk, be able to ask your question or make your statement or state your opinion or whatever. Uh, uh, Still here, paratroopers. First in, last out. All right. Some of the questions I saw or comments are so far back, nobody even remember what we're talking about. So we'll just let those sleeping dogs lie. Thanks, James. Still watching. All right. Reading the comments too, Agnetha. Good. First 325th. Whoa. Airborne. Airborne. Never was in the 82nd, but, a lot of respect for you guys. I've known a lot of people in the 82nd. A lot of people came up in the 82nd and then moved on. Charles, good you're still here. Any details on what the stills look like from AK video might be good for bird and flight. Yeah, there are a lot of people are asking that over on the Facebook Nikon Facebook Nikon Z9 page. Yeah. I'm trying to get rid of this knucklehead. Bam. Yeah, that was a question, David, whether it was 10 gig or not. But yeah, you're going to have to do a little work though if you want to go Ethernet. And that's all based on every flagship since the D4. Did the D3 have it? I don't know. But since the D4, I know had Ethernet port, Ethernet access, and that was all the sports writers and everybody else, sports photographers. Wow. So Delkin, I know the Delkin black cards, CF Express B. I know those are okay. I mean, you can't go wrong if you just go by that name, Delkin Black, whatever size you want. Those are and those are the cards that Rishi was talking about way back when he did the card test. And same thing for who was it? Granger, Matt Granger. Yeah, the 440 sounds like XQD cards actually, but you know those will work. And how do I know? I haven't tried it, but Matt Granger did, and that's I actually thanked him in the comments on his video for putting that in there. They may see it as being insignificant, but just knowing that you can pick that camera up, and if you have an XQD card, uh, you're still going to be able to use the camera, not to its full potential, no, but you're still going to be able to take it out and shoot with it. Delkin Blue, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that they coded them by color other than the Delkin Black. They actually, those are Delkin Black CFE cards. Um, but yeah, the black are not cheap. Obviously, the more capacity, the fatter your check's going to be. So on the D850, all you do is the firmware update, and then CF Express cards work. I did that way back when. That's just a firmware update. Pop a CF Express card in there, and you're going. And that's the only reason I got CF Express cards was when they made that change and gave us the firmware update for the D5 and the D850. And I updated the firmware on the D5, and I used my CF Express cards in it. Now, they're not the super fast ones, as a matter of fact. So here's one of my old 64 gig XQD cards. There you go. And I think it's read write 440. Yep. This is the 2933X, but this is an actual Lexar, original Lexar. I know that somebody bought the company and came out with the Lexar brand, and they're making them again. I would guess they're better than the older ones. It should be, but anyway, yeah, I didn't have any problem at all using those in the D5, D850, D500. Yep. And I have CF Express cards. Let's see. Here's my Delkin reader, CF Express card reader. And I do not have a card in there right now. I was not extremely happy that even though they're the same form, they're not the same format. So you can't use the old reader with CF Express. So CF Express has a long way to go too. They're going to get even faster and even larger. Yeah, let me pull that up real quick. I have the 402A. And I tried it briefly. No, I didn't go out, but tried it briefly with the FTZ and my Z6 II, and it works fine. It works fine. And I'm not going to say it's the fastest in the world, but it's not the camera's fault because my 402A 20 plus years old. It's a hoss. So, yeah, it did work and it worked fine. It was as fast as it ever was, even with the Z6 II, as far as AF. The Z6 II did struggle though. When I think I've got it on there now. The TC17 is on there right now. I think with my D500. Yeah. And let me tell you, that's a pretty long combo. I like shooting this. I like shooting this combo. I have not shot my long list lenses outside for birds or anything else with a Z camera yet. Because I mean, why change a good thing? And especially with the D500 on this combo, you're talking 900 millimeter. That gets you up close and personal. I'm curious too, Stephen, to use it with the use that combo with the Z9. I'm really curious to see how well it does. I don't think it will be any faster, although it's snappy enough. It really is. Now, does it compare to the new 400-8 or the 180 to 400? No, no, it does not. It renders as well, I think. Then again, I haven't put the two side by side and shot them and then looked at the photos. But yeah, I love the 400-8. And if anybody hasn't shot with a big super telephoto prime, man, there is something magic about those lenses, how it renders everything in the out of focus area. It's pretty sweet. I'll not own a Z mount. I'll not own the S version of that lens, not unless I hit the lottery, and I don't see that happening. Um, I would love to have one. I'd love to have that 800 as well, the PF 800. I'd love to have the 600. I've wanted a 600 f4 for years. I just never could save the money to actually get one. Hey, for those that don't discount the opportunity to pick up some of these great super telephoto lenses as they begin to go up on the market. They're not going to be super cheap right now, no, but over the next 5 years, it may sound crazy, but it'll go by before you know it. Those lenses are going to be pretty cheap, and with the FTZ, it doesn't take anything away from that lens, and it doesn't take anything away from the camera. You're going to have some sweet glass that you can get very reasonably priced. So I'm going to let you know right now that's going to be something to look forward to down the road. Yeah, we'd all like to have the S version or the gold ring version. I guess those will be. But at a difference of about anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 savings on any one of those lenses, I can carry a little more weight. I'm not carrying it anyway. It's on a tripod. So, those are the lenses to look for. Anyone trust or tried? That's a good question on third-party batteries, James. If there's anybody in here that can answer that. I still have 2 spare batteries from my D4, D5 days. And while I can't charge them in body, I can still charge them with my charger and use them in the camera. That was good news to me as well. So I don't have to run out and buy extra batteries right away. But anybody that's ever shot with a flagship camera knows you're almost never worried about the battery. You almost never worry about it. If you have one in your bag, you forget that it's even there. And it probably goes dead before you use it or need it when you're out shooting. And that's shooting all day long, shooting motocross all day long from first light in the morning until about 4 in the afternoon, and never miss a beat, never have to change the battery. That's what I'm looking forward to in the Z9. And this little thing sounds nitnoy, but when you mount your lens, try to get it up here where you can see. When you mount your lens on your tripod or your gimbal, and usually you'll loosen the collar so that the lens will turn in the collar, so that as you're moving around your tripod, if it's not perfectly level, you can level it up here with the camera. But because the Z cameras, get this out of the way. Since the sensors off center on the body, and you have the battery grip on the right side, which favors the side it's farthest from the sensor. You get this little thing happening. It's not doing it so bad right now, but if you let go, you can see the camera rotate. So it wants to go down to the portrait position, which would be fine, but the battery grip is on the bottom, or the controls are on the bottom. If it went this way, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But anyway, you can see, I'll just shake it a little here. Now it's standing straight up, it won't, but Nitnoy thing, just something to know, something I noted as I played with it today. That's another reason I'm looking for a full body. I just like that feel in my hand. All right. Yeah, most of the telephotos and telephoto zooms have that rotating collar. Unfortunately, on this version, you can't change the collar, and that's always been a thing. On my 400, I changed the collar. On my 200, I changed the collar. But you can change the foot on these and put an Arca Swiss foot on it, so that's good. Hmm. Yeah, isn't it? Okay. Hang on a second. Why is I changed this? It's supposed to, when I change it, stay set. Ooh. Hang on a second. Yeah. Okay. It's supposed to be mirroring now. Right hand? Yep. Okay. So it's mirroring for me. Are you saying that it's backwards on your end? Oh, is it? Okay. You know what? Then I can look at it mirrored. Maybe that's what they mean here. Turn this off. Watch this, sports fans. Yeah, it's mirrored now for you. Or it's but Harley Davidson is now correct. All right. A restream thing. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try to get up in the morning. Oh yeah, I am. It's 11:30 my time. I'm gonna try to get up in the morning, go out and shoot with this lens, and try to give you guys some feedback. Nothing scientific. It'll be up to you to look at and make your own decisions. And I'll tell you how I feel about it. But just playing with the lens and the camera today on the Z6 II, it feels great. It's easy to swing. I've carried uh, the old 80 to 400 F mount version on a D5 all day long out on the track. So I know this is going to be a little bit better. So I can already tell just by carrying it around the house and whatnot. It's hand holdable for shooting as well. I can't give you an idea how well the VR and IBIS work together on it uh, until I actually get outside and start playing with it. But I'll give you guys an update on what I think about it and let you form your own opinion. But it's just going to be hey, this is somebody taking it out and using it, and I'm going to try to come up with some photos that you can look at and make your own decision on whether you believe it renders well or if it's soft or whatever. Nikon sale almost over. Yeah, for all those good lenses, man. There's some good. There's lenses in there that I want. I want that 51.2 bad, but kind of holding out for the 85 1.2. All right, folks. Again, thank you all for stopping by. We'll do this again Saturday night. Saturday night's always a guarantee unless something happens and I just can't physically make it. I'll always put up a reminder card. You'll see that for Saturday pop up in the next day or so. And so we'll be in here on New Year's night, not New Year's Eve. Wouldn't be much sense in doing that, would there? But I hope everybody has a wonderful Friday night, New Year's Eve, and a New Year's Day. So we'll be back New Year's night, and hope everybody will join again. And if you haven't, yeah, please drop a like out there. Again, it's for me, it's not the algorithm. It just makes me feel good. And I think, okay, this is definitely worth keeping going. Airborne. Real quick story, Paul. In the Ranger Battalion, I was a young lad, and I was down at Fort Stewart. And of course, Fort Stewart at the time was the 24th Infantry Division, and they were legs, as you know. So non-airborne for those that don't know. So I'm down there in my starches and spits with another ranger, and we're walking down the sidewalk, and an officer approaches us. So the standard reply for the 2x4 or the 24th Infantry Division, I can't remember what it was, but it was just the normal officer courtesy: afternoon, sir, or morning, sir, or whatever. But for the Ranger Battalion, anytime you responded to an officer, you would reply, Rangers lead the, you would say, Rangers lead the way, sir. And then the Ranger officers would always say, all the way. Much like our friends in the 82nd. So anyway, one day I'm walking down the sidewalk, and there's this captain that he doesn't look like he's having a real good day. And as I approach him, I throw the salute up. Rangers lead the way, sir. He looks at me and goes, good, and just keeps on walking. I don't guess he was in any victory. Okay, victory. Oh man. So anyway, my story, my little funny military story for the night. All right, folks, again, have a wonderful evening, the rest of it tomorrow and New Year's Eve. Keep yourself safe, folks. Seriously. Don't do anything crazy on New Year's Eve. Enjoy it. Have a great time, but don't kill yourselves. Saturday night, New Year's Day, we'll be back in here live. Watch for the reminder. It'll come up, like I said, in the next couple of days. And God bless you all. And thanks again for coming by. I am humbled. I really am. Have a wonderful night. All right, folks.